Hey, what's going on, guys? I haven't thought of a channel name yet. Balls. So today I'm just gonna go over a Yu-Gi-Oh deck known as Salamangreat. If you don't know what Salamangreats are, then feel lucky, and if you haven't gone against them, again, feel lucky, because this deck is one of the most overpowered decks in Master Rule 4, which is the Link format, which is overpowered. Well, it screws over most decks. I'll get onto that in another video, I hope. So, when you play Salamangreat, you're going to need the Salamangreat archetype, which are fire cyburst monsters. Most of them have link effects. For example, Jaguar, which special summons itself to a link arrow by shuffling one Salamangreat in your graveyard back into the deck. And that's going to be very useful. Well, it's an easy ability to pull off, because all these guys should be in the graveyard to activate one of their effects. Spinny can special summon itself from the graveyard. Falco has to spell a trap to your hand and can special summon itself. Don't know what Foul does, because I don't really use Foul a lot. Mole is quite useful if you need to restart. Beam Bison can shuffle your Link monsters back into the deck. Well, extra deck. Foxy can special summon itself by sending one Salamangreat to the graveyard from your hand. And then the spells and traps are quite useful. You should only run like these two spells and traps. If you can find, and also Infinite Impermanence, which I don't have because it's like £40. But these two spells and traps are very useful in the entire Salamangreat deck. Rage can destroy cards, and Raw is an easy negate. You can get quite a few of these cards from the Salamangreat the Soul Burner structure deck, which is in British pounds like £8 something. But you get Circle, Sanctuary, Will, I think, Claw, Gazelle, Foxy, Jaguar, Mole, Ash Blossom, which I'll get into in a second, Foul, Spinny, Falco, one Rage and Raw, and then a couple extra deck cards, which again I'll get onto soon. Ash Blossom comes in the structure deck, which is actually quite an easy gift, because this card is overpowered and it will go for like £9. It is a hand trap, which means its effect can be activated from the hand. And let me pull it up, and so oh my god, you guys can't read that. So its effect, you can discard this card to that. Well, if there's an effect which is on its list, so it's add a card from deck to hand, special summon from the deck, and send a card from deck to graveyard. You can negate that effect with Ash Blossom. And with a lot of the popular decks doing quite a lot of that, Ash Blossom is an easy go for. Effect Veiler is also quite useful because it can negate a monster's effect, which is so useful. And you can get that with a couple structure decks, I think. I got one from the Power Code Link structure deck. I don't remember what it's called, but from all this you get Effect Veiler, Lady Debug, and Flame Buffalo. Lady Debug, Gazelle, and Circle are all limited to one per deck. And before this was happening, it was 3 and 3, and that just made the deck absolutely overpowered. You wouldn't need a lot of these cards. I would say you would need maybe Recurrent, Fury of Fire, maybe 2 fusions. Like, the deck would be structured completely different, because Gazelle is one of the main core cards, and same with Circle. Gazelle allows you to, whenever a Salamangreat card is sent to the graveyard, a Salamangreat monster you control is sent to the graveyard, by any means necessary, you can special summon Gazelle from your hand. And that is so useful. And then its other effect allows you to send one Salamangreat card from your deck to the graveyard. And that can be anything. It can be Rage and Raw, it can be Circle, it could be any of these, well, most of these cards. And you're probably thinking, if you know this game and you don't on the Salamangreat deck, why would you send a spell or trap card? Yeah, again, that comes in with the extra deck, which I will get to in a couple minutes, probably, I don't know. Because the extra deck is very useful, and it's all about cycle with Salamangreat. Like, a good opening hand would be Circle, Gazelle, Spinny, I would say maybe Flame Buffalo, and then maybe Foul. Actually, screw Flame Buffalo, Foxy. Because when you normal summon Foxy, you can look at the top 3 cards of your deck, and then add 1 Salamangreat card to it. And that's a really good card, because say you don't have Circle in your opening hand, and it's in your top 3, you can add this to your hand, or any other Salamangreat card that you excavate. Where to go next with this deck? Because there's a lot. Alright, Lady Debug was limited because of this deck. It can add 1 level 3 or lower one level 3 or lower Cyburst card from your deck to your hand. And that is where it comes overpowered in this deck. Gazelle, level 3. Spinny, level 3. Foxy, level 3. Mole, I guess, you can use that. It's level 1. Salamangreat Mia is not really used, but it's a level 2, and whenever it's added to your hand, apart from drawing, you can special summon it, which is basically just a free special summon. So, now I'm going to get onto the extra deck, which, if you start on the Salamangreat deck, it shouldn't really look like this, but if you really know the Salamangreat deck, this will be very useful. Now, I'm just going to go over the 3 links that you should really be running, and that is Phalanx, YuGiOh, and Sunlight Wolf. Sunlight Wolf has a nice little effect where if you normal or special summon to a zone he points to with his link arrows, which is up these 2, you can add 1 fire monster from your graveyard to your hand. That can be basically anything from this deck. It can be Gazelle, it can be Ash Blossom, which is slightly overpowered. It could be Crusader Lucusia, which I forgot to mention, but it's a tech card which you can run if you like. It's a free special summon. You can go into Mars Stelio. It's quite good in this deck. Its other effect is if you use Sunlight Wolf as link material for it, you can add 1 Salamangreat spell or trap card from your graveyard to your hand. Now, that is, yet again, so useful because Circle, if you use it, add it to your hand. MST, you can add it to your hand. Any of these spells and traps, you can... Wait, not MST. You can add Will, Fusion of Fire, Sanctuary, Fury of Fire, Circle, Recurrence, Rage or Raw, and Claw, which is also a good spell. MST is a very good card. It's run in lots of decks, not specifically Salamangreats. Anyway, back to the extra deck. YuGiOh is quite a good beat stick. It's Link 3, requires 2 fire effect monsters, and as you can see its arrows, it's quite odd, but yeah, again, it's quite good. So, when it's Link summoned, you can target 1 spell or trap card your opponent one card in your opponent's spell and trap card zone and shuffle it back into their deck, which could screw over their entire plan. It could be a field spell, it could be any face down, but it's only a once per turn. Wait, is it a once per turn? No, it's not a once per turn, so if you summon another YuGiOh, that's actually quite good. When you use YuGiOh as link material for it, though, it has another effect where you can target 1 Salamangreat card in your monster card in your graveyard and 1 monster on the field. It could be an opponent, it could be yours. But it's mostly done with opponents to lower their monster's attack points to as low as possible with either Baelings with 500, Maul with 0, or the lowest card they can find in their graveyard. Or if you want to power up your own monster, you can target something with quite a few attack points, like another YuGiOh, which is 2300, Be Bison with 28, Jaguar, I guess you can just power something up a bit with 1800. Baelings is like the beginner of the deck, because it's a Link 1, it requires 1 level 4 or lower side bursts. You can't see that because of the lighting, but here it is. And when it's linked someone, you can add 1 Salamangreat Sanctuary from your deck to your hand. And this card right here is, yeah, again, a quite good core card for this deck. It needs to be on the field for long combos and good combos. And also, Baelings' other effect is you can banish it from the graveyard to protect one of your Salamangreats from destruction. So, say it's going to be destroyed by battle, you can banish Baelings from your graveyard, and it's not destroyed, but you still take battle damage. Or same with card effect. Now, there's quite a lot of Xyz monsters you can run. Well, 2 different Xyz monsters. Abyss Dweller is very useful in this deck because it's a rank 4, and Jaguar and Fowl you can both bring out pretty easy with their own effects. And Abyss Dweller has a little effect where once per turn you can use an Xyz material, and your opponent can not use graveyard effects, and that is very, very good because if you go against Orcust, Nightmare, Crusadia, whatever, that will shut down a lot of their play. A mirror match against Salamangreats, again, shuts down so many plays. It basically stops the entire deck. And I can't think of any more decks because I'm not that experienced and I don't know that many decks. Salamangreat Marstellio. It's quite a big core card. You can bring it out so easy. That's why Gazelle was limited, because it's a level 3 and you can send Spinny to graveyard, which is also a level 3, and Spinny can special summon itself whenever you have a level 3 Salamangreat on your graveyard. Foxy is a level 3. Reclusia is a level 3, that's why it's ran. Yeah, those are all the level 3s that I run anyway. You can run other level 3s, but yeah, again, it's not really a wise idea. I think some people run like Defrag Dragon, which I'll just go over like some tech cards on another video, which is quite a stupid thing. Anyway, Marstellio, by using 1 Xyz material, you can special summon 1 Salamangreat from your deck in defense mode. That is quite good because if you want to bring out without Gazelle, you can special summon Gazelle. You can bring out Jaguar. You can bring out Foxy, Spinny, Falco, whatever. These cards are just so good. Then let's move on to Violent Chimera. Violent Chimera has its own little effect. Well, it's a fusion monster, which requires 1 Salamangreat monster plus 1 Link monster. And with Fusion of Fire, it uses both sides of the field, so you can use your opponent's Link monsters and your own. Yet again, a good card for mirror matches and any other match, because Link monsters are used in almost every deck. But whenever Violent Chimera is fusion summoned, it gains half the combined attack points of the monster used to special summon it. Fusion summon it. That is, yet again, overpowered as all hell. Use Sunlight Wolf and Jaguar. That's 1800 attack points added onto Violent Chimera's 28. That's a lot of attack points. And then, trying to remember. Yeah, so if it used Violent Chimera's fusion material. Oh no. So yeah, if it uses Violent Chimera as fusion material, you can target 1 monster your opponent controls and its attack points are lowered to 0 until the end of the turn. And that's really useful with this other effect, where if it battles an opponent's monster whose current attack points are different to their original attack points, Chimera's attack points double. And you could do an OTK with this. Because if you do it with Jaguar and Sunlight Wolf, that's 1800 added on to 2800. And that gives you 4600. Double that, that's 9200 attack points, which is an OTK. Because you start off with 8000 life points. I really should have done a basic. I'll do that later. And then extra deck, you can run whatever you like. This is my extra deck. Oh wait, I thought I had 4 in here. One sec. I can't do this. Oh no, I only had 3. I thought I had here the Fire Charmer Blaze. This is my extra deck. I don't really use them unless I really have to or just want to. Baguska, quite an annoying card to go against, and yet again, kind of annoying card to use. I'm not going to try and say his name, but Stars Destroying Kaiju. Kaijus are quite good because they can clear an opponent's field. Well, mess up an opponent's field and say they bring out their own Kaiju. You can bring out a 3300 attack point beat stick. Amphibious Swarmship, a Blow Whale, is quite good because it has quite a good effect with Link 3s, which is what YuGiOh is, and also has quite a couple Link monster effects. So yeah, that is the Salamangreat deck. Well, my Salamangreat deck, and kind of a couple recommendations of what you should run. To be honest, run what you like. I don't really mind, unless I go against you, and yeah, I probably won't in the future. So yeah, I still need to come up with a better channel name, but I'm going to peace out. Stay fresh.